Welcome to At the Close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin with you for the last half hour of the trading session of the week. And today's come to epitomize what we've come to expect with this market, where it goes up for seemingly no reason, and then in an inevitable matter of time comes back down, because that is what's happening here right now as we stand. Every sector is in the red for the day, every index in the red for the day, though not horribly down. So we didn't cover that many stocks on the show this morning, so we're trying to cover a lot more individual names on this show right now. Try to answer whatever questions you've got in your head as we enter a 3-day weekend. So smash that like button and let's go to work here. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, how's your day going so far?
Day's going well, Spencer. Day's going well. I wish I could say the same thing for the stock index futures. I'll just give you the last down 37 handles at 44.3750. Nowhere near that pre-market low. Then we crashed down. The pre-market high. Didn't even get close to the 4,400 handle. Came down, took out the pre-market low, and then some. Let me get the correct chart up here. And then we caught a late day bounce heading into that final hour. They got this thing back under unchanged, and now we are precariously near the low of the session of 43.21. The only significant number I have down here is the lowest close of this entire move, folks. Hard to forget about that close back on a couple weeks ago at 43.1775. That was the lowest close of the recent move, and we all know what happened since then. Crude has rebounded. That was in the red by a couple bucks, and now it's in the green at 90.24 by 21 cents. Gold, kind of short-lived rally over 1900. That's down 570 at 1896.30. Silver flat, 23.90. Bitcoin under that 40K level, down $930 at 39,970. Ethereum futures, they're going the same way. They're down 4.31%, $125 at 27.7350. And boy, oh boy, we are picking up momentum on the downside.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Israel, news me. Give me some news.
Joel, I spent a half hour hunting for a headline earlier today about why we were even up in the first place, and I found absolutely nothing. So to me, let's not forget today's an options expiration Friday. But I think doing what I did, looking around for headlines, is probably a mistake, frankly. This is just market volatility. Whether you want to blame it on geopolitical tension, you want to blame it on options expiration, whatever you want to blame it on, fine. Blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. But I mean, I think this is the market we're in right now. These moves are normal, frankly.
Yeah, they're the norm. You have the really didn't talk interest rates this much. We didn't talk interest rates. We didn't talk COVID. It was all about what's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, and you got geopolitical headlines going back and forth. Who knows the sources of them? Who knows the validity of them? But market's in a precarious state, uncertainty, and there's one thing that is certain. And that's the market doesn't like uncertainty.
I mean, yeah,
and 3-day weekend.
You guys said it this morning. I mean, frankly, who in their right mind wants to have any swing longs into this weekend? You know what I mean?
But if you're like the contrarian, what if Putin and Biden go to lunch on Sunday? I don't
know. Well, Biden is supposed to speak in a half hour or so, 25 minutes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, what if he comes out and says, I spoke to Putin and we resolved everything? Not much of a chance of that happening, but, trade what's in front of you. And right now, what's in front of us, we're down 36.5 handles, 43.38. Haven't made the low of the session yet, or revisited the low. So that's a that's a good sign, at least here at 335.
Yeah, that's a good one, Frank. Blame it on the snow. Sure, why not? Why not at this
Frank.
point? Yeah, Frank, I don't know. Sorry. Okay, let's go through some stocks here. And because we barely touched on any earnings this morning, let's just start with some of the disaster ones of the morning, which is Roku. Um, whether or not there is more pain to come is to be determined. But hey, for the moment, Joel, we found
Yeah.
the bottom for the moment.
For the moment, we found the bottom. Popped off the open. 10 buck rally off the open. So if you just like closed your eyes or
Yeah,
plugged your nose and bought it, you could have gotten out, made a nice profit, came down and make a low. I listened to Mark Mahaney's comments on it, and uh, fundamentally, theoretically, it does make sense. It's at pre-COVID levels. The revenues are much better than they were. The just question, I have to be honest. Like, I don't
yeah,
have a Roku. I
yeah.
don't like
I
really
I'll tell you,
understand it.
I'll
You
tell you,
know,
I have one, Joel, and we basically never use it. Not that
oh
that
no,
matters, but we haven't used it in months probably. Um,
so you just don't need it.
well, we have it on our TV in the bedroom, which we barely use. But so the Roku report was interesting because so Roku is a streaming device, but it's built into the TV. So their growth depends on two things. It depends on people streaming, and it also depends on people buying TVs, and they're having supply chain problems, right? Like TVs need chips too, and they're feeling the pain through the chip crunch. So that was interesting. I didn't expect that yesterday, but anyway, Joel, you mentioned the rally off the open. It's weird because that was actually a very broad based rally this morning, right off the open. Everything kind of caught a bid.
Yeah, we did, including Roku. Didn't really I mean, you those kinda, rally like that, you're hoping for the pre-market high, a test of the pre-market high, and a breach of the pre-market high. We missed it by 20 handles, and then we sold off. So, um 10 bucks. I mean, if you would have bought the open off that, I don't know what you would have used as a like an exit point on the Roku, just because there's such a big gap in there. But we're above the open, new low for the move, back to pre-COVID levels. I mean, if you look at Shopify, you're probably not thinking that this is the bottom. If you look at a firm, you're probably not thinking this is the bottom. But each stock has its own individual characteristics. So uh,
Yeah,
who knows what Mr. Market has planned for
I
this
don't know.
issue? I just don't get it. I'm not buying the stock. I never have had a Roku. I do believe that there's more streaming going, so that. But is Roku the streaming of the future? I don't know that.
I don't know either. And then I wanted to talk about DraftKings and Redfin. Did you see Redfin this more overnight, Joel? I'm sure you did because they had earnings yesterday as well, and frankly, the earnings were fine. It's just like Redfin just got brutalized overnight. So Redfin and DraftKings, charts kind of look similar in the fact that DraftKings is actually making a new low of the day just now, but Redfin stopped going down, so it looks more like Roku. But yeah, I don't know.
Interest rates, right?
Yeah,
High building prices. I mean, those are, they're not factoring. Maybe, that the rate thing probably is, a minor thing compared to the backlog in the building materials and the construction costs. So, I think there's a future in iBuying, but right now, the tape's not telling me that. Open Door, that kind of held its own. Nothing special going there. Zillow got to move off its report. It was a little tired yesterday. Finished near the low of the session, so that got to be careful on that one. Giving a little bit back, but combination of rising rates and the backlog in building. It's
No.
it's going to be tough for these stocks to rally.
And you and I were talking about DraftKings before. I mean, I don't. The numbers. I don't even know if they're relevant at this point because this is an all time low since the company de-SPACed. So we're talking basically a 2-year low right now. It went all the way up to $74 and come all the way back.
I remember they did some major secondary. They did some offerings of like $55.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Sell your peanuts. Good for you.
yeah. Just like Viacom too did those offerings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. That was right near the
Oh,
top.
they got another new symbol now, right? What the hell is the
Oh,
symbol on this thing now?
not yet, but yeah, they're gonna.
No, I just did VIAC and it didn't come up.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. What is this? What is going on? Yeah, I don't even know because it's not going for me too. Oh,
It's something else.
all
I
right.
can't remember. They announced it yesterday.
Well, the Paramount. All right.
Yeah, it's PA. Come on, help us out. Someone knows.
Yeah,
PARA.
the name of the company, but what's the ticker?
There it is. Someone's got it. Paramount Global.
Yeah, I know the name of the company, but what's the ticker?
PARA, Spence.
All right, PARA. Good to know. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that was today. Today.
The bad news is it made a new low for the move. The good news is it's above that low. So the old undercut for Paramount Global Class B now. I think you can just put set an alert on your at 30.45, 30.33, 30.45. Pair of highs there, $2 away from that. After you get above that, you get into a little bit of a gap area. So that's when I'm looking on the monthlies. What did this come to down? Did it get to that December low? So there's another silver lining for now. Paramount Global Class B as the S&Ps are churning their way back north here, trying to close above 43.50.
All right, couple of headlines from intraday that I want to discuss. One of them was
Joe Rogan.
One of them was Spotify. Yeah, if you had asked me, Spencer, spin up a headline, create a headline out of thin air that will drop Spotify stock down to, I don't know, 140. Let's say 140. What would that headline be? I would say, easy exercise. Joe Rogan leaving the platform. Any rumor of that, Spotify to 140. Well, there was a rumor of that this morning because if you went on the Spotify app and searched for Joe Rogan and tried to pull up the podcast, you couldn't do it. There was an error message, and the implications are, whoa, did Spotify just suspend the Joe Rogan podcast? Did they kick him off the platform? No, they didn't. It was a technical error, but that didn't stop the rumor mill from starting right off the bat. And that's everyone's first assumption. And yet the stock barely even nudged off of it. Actually, I think the low of the day, which is 150, it happened right after this whole snafu. So color me shocked.
Yeah, that's Spotify. I mean, the thing that maybe people were thinking was that Joe Rogan's coming off, but they're going to move PreMarket Prep into that slot.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. So people were kind of looking into because we are on Spotify. It's a couple of people found us from Spotify. I think who's that guy? RAG, I think, found us on Spotify. Man, a lot of competition here for Spot. New low of the move, leaning on the low. I mean, makes a new low. It's time to go. We're going to get back here next monthly support level, 143.01. I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear that. String of 3 lower highs, lower lows, and lower closes. So if you're looking at this for a swing trade, at least, wait for that little bad streak to be snapped. SPOO's cruising back over 33.50. Now taking aim at 33.60 here. A lot of volatility here in the last, 15, 16 minutes of the session.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Ford was also of interest this morning. This thing rallied right off the open here because Jim Farley, who's the CEO, was speaking at some investment conference, and he talked about that they had talked about previously the idea of potentially spinning off the Ford EV unit into a separate company, and that does that headline of that discussion was enough to spike the stock apparently. Even though, to my knowledge, that wasn't even a new comment because I think he said previously that they've talked about, yeah, we have it in pro. The February 1st, they had there was a mention that they had discussed the idea of running their EV units separately, but nothing has happened. Obviously, even so, the stock popped to almost $20 today. It got 18. Wait, all right, I shouldn't say almost 20. 18.50.
Yeah, 1850, 1848. Drew that line across there to drop down from earnings. The high, the second, or let's see what the high on earnings day that came in at 1859. You kissed that level, 1863. Made a run at it today, getting to 1848, but backed off again. So not looking for a lot of upside in forwards until it can clear that 1850, 1860. Doesn't look like it's going to be today. Still up 52 cents on the session. Maybe I thought I had some more work to do in the $17 handle. I believe 1707 is the low of the move. That also coincides with the monthly low. So at yeah, 1707 actually got to 1702 this month. So if you're taking a shot on forwards, I believe your risk reward ratio or your risk in at least under 17.
Yeah, we can mention the fact that Intel is at a 52-week low. We can also
Oh, I
mention the fact that
know.
Coke is at a 52-week high. Actually, that's an all-time high. Sorry, all-time high in Coke today.
Is it? Look at
Yeah,
that. No, people are going to be drinking Coca-Cola, war or no war, right?
I
COVID
know.
or no COVID.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a few other products. Uh, what do you say about this chart? I mean, it had just a wall of sellers at probably big institute, probably 62.30, 62.32, and 62.33. They got a running start at it today with that the close in the 62 handle. Didn't have far to travel on a daily basis, so there was enough meat on the bone early enough in the session to take out those institutional sellers. 62.82 backed off. I mean, what can you say now? New probably will be a new all-time closing high today by a
Yeah.
pretty good margin. That former all-time closing high was actually from yesterday at 62.12. Not a super amount of volume in it today. We'll probably still got 12 minutes left, so there could be some big closing prints. But see what's in your New York book at 63 if you're trading Coca-Cola. How's Pepsi doing?
I don't know.
Pepsi,
Probably
yeah,
Pepsi's been lagging.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yep. What do
Interesting.
you like better, Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Coke.
Yeah.
Although yeah, Coke. I did the Pepsi challenge once, which is, by the way, one of the best marketing tricks ever. That was an amazing marketing tactic, the Pepsi challenge. Uh, but yeah, I think I'm a Coke person. Also, it's not just Coke or Pepsi. It's like the other products, like the Sprite versus the what is it, Sierra Mist. I don't like Sierra Mist, but anyway, let's move on here. Let's do some questions from the chat. I don't drink soda. I drink green tea only. So drop your tickers for us, and we will discuss. Yeah, I was also watching JPMorgan today, Patrick Star. Yeah, it's having a green day on a day where the banks. Well, no, the whole bank sector is up today. Actually,
And so's the
it
TLT.
was down. Banks were down, but now they're higher. Though J.P. Morgan is your clear leader of the group, which is interesting.
Yeah, got a little bit ahead of itself last week. Nearly, I believe it traded up to almost 160, right? And pulled back. Everyone was hoping to get this on a little bit more of a retracement. Did on a relative basis, didn't get near Monday's low. But now what I'll be looking at for JP Morgan, if this was like just a little retreat, this is going back up to 159, 160. Let's see here. Let's call it a 9-point move, right? So let's call it 154.50, 154.75. That would get back, half of this little break here. Your big level on the upside happens just to be 156 after you put in the high of the move. You got a pair of highs at 156. So that if you're looking for a swing trade or something to look at, potential short, double top 156, 2-day high, yesterday's high. Well, even now you got a couple highs pairing at 154. So 156 sellers stepped down to 154 in the last two sessions.
Joel, we don't talk about Tesla anymore.
We
We hardly ever talk about Tesla in the last couple of weeks. I feel like, which is fine. There was a time there where we talked about this stock every single day, so I'm okay with it. But someone asked for a support level on Tesla here.
A support level.
Yeah,
This
who
is
was it?
tough.
Yeah, like,
This is tough because what do theoretically, what do you have between this low right here, 837.61, and the low of the move at 792.01? So, man, I don't know. If you want something to lean on, I mean, you have that low to lean on. That's it. There's just nothing in there. I guess a lot to depend will be, market conditions or whatever. But I'd be cautious on this one. A lot of the high PE stocks, they've come to get them, and yeah, Tesla's lost, a decent amount. But you look at some of these other stocks, and it's still hanging tough. And what about Elon? He sold this puppy pretty good. He did. He didn't he?
yeah,
Those insider sells, yeah. What was that over a
I mean, for a guy that sold his company stock once in the last decade, you know, he did a pretty good job. But well, I think, what does he have, like 25% stake in the company? I think, or something like that. So maybe more. So he still owns a
He still
lot,
got a nice chunk. But
a lot of time.
yeah, I'm sorry, I can't I can't give you a level when there's not a level there.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
down
Hey,
under,
Joel, we talk about follow through a lot on the downside. What about follow through on the upside today? Look at Cisco. Look, because they had their report Wednesday after the bell. Good day yesterday, better day today. Look at that.
Yeah, up a buck 40. Cleared that resistance yesterday and then closed below it with a little bit of a weak market. Oh boy, gave you a look at yesterday's low too. So not sure where it's stopping on the upside, but on the downside, until you get into that gap under 54, 55, 38. I don't know. Path of least resistance still higher. High today 769. Nothing on the dailies here until you get to 50. Wow, 58.34. That's your next daily high. Wow, this thing was at $64 too. If you're thinking we're going back to, and I know it's not all time highs, I'll just pull this up for you here and 50% retracement, 58.50 area, get you back half of that move. So 58 on the dailies, 58 and a half is about halfway back of that recent decline. Cisco, how's Oracle doing? Oracle, not good. Wow. Gave it back all from earnings and then some, huh? Wow. That's a pretty big haircut in Oracle. Kind of looks like my Intel there.
Yeah, right. Shannon wants to know about Valero and Phillips 66. The charts look pretty much identical to me.
Oh, man, those stocks have just had such big runs. I don't know what.
No, not these two. Not
No, they're
Phillips
not up.
66.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Not
right.
Valero. Not these two.
Valero above 85. I mean, you got a couple lows just above 85 and uh, just above 85. So that's until you breach 85, you still got a shot at this one. Two lower highs in a row. That's not good. No, nothing sticking out to me on this one. Like to see it get back over at least. I mean, your high from Thursday was $2 lower, or yeah, over $2 lower from the previous day's high. Today's high was not as much below that. So maybe you just got one or two big sellers in there, but it's definitely turned after getting near 95. Nothing sticking out to me besides like 80, that support just under 85, and the resistance just above 90. This little break, 94 to 86, 8-point move, 90 point 90 90 90. That's got to get through there. I think the path of least resistance is lower if you can't get above $90 pretty soon. And then what was the other one?
Well, PSX, same idea, right?
PSX.
Phillips 66.
Phillips 66. Man, lower highs, two lower, kind of similar looking chart. I think you're okay until you got a pair of lows to lean on at 83.50. That's still a buck and a half away. But step down sellers over the last couple days. Monthly resistance you hit there too. From June, that was recovery high. So best thing you can do is stay above those lows at the 83.50 area, find a couple days of consolidation, and then turn your way back up and get back half of that move from the recent high at 93.56. And folks like, who knows what's going to happen over the weekend? Who knows what's going to happen with the oil, with oil and oil prices? It's just such a coin flip. But stock has had a nice run. The other thing that's not boding well for it is looks like it's closing in the lower quadrant of the session, which is not a great sign.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing Upstart up to my attention, Khaled. UPST had a huge pop on earnings that was 3 days ago now, and it held on day one, and it held on day two, and on day three now it's leaking. So
you know what got it? What juiced it yesterday?
No,
it was an upgrade or a price target change,
and that was coincidentally the high of the move.
Yeah, that's the thing with those those things is that they either stick and hold, or you got a reversal. And people were fading that one. Opened up $9 higher after the ridiculous open on Wednesday. $9 higher, 157.20 a hit. 157.39 was your high yesterday, completely, and now. It's just hard. It's like when I see these kind of open areas here, do I think it's going immediately back to 110, 109.87 to fill the gap? I don't know. But you've already taken back 30 points of it. I couldn't get interested in this till it did come back to that 110, 112 area.
All right. We are inside a minute
until
the end of this session. We are not at the low of the day. We are also not even at the low from a couple minutes ago. So we're just kind of hanging out here. Staples trying to be the ones to stick out like a sore thumb and go green on the day, but everything else is down. Nothing's really changed in the last 28 minutes.
No, the algos are just grinding here. It's going to be a down week, which we don't want to see. We ended last week at 44.0950. So that's not a good week anyway. I believe it. We did. Let me take a look. Look at the
it's going to be the fourth down week out of 7.
Yeah, and this is going to be the second lowest close of our recent decline. So that's not good. We know we had these wild days back here. Who knows if we're going to come down and revisit that support. But on a weekly basis, not the kind of way we wanted to end the week. And on a daily basis, popping a little bit here after hours. But we'll see. We'll see what geopolitical events take place over the weekend, if any. And back with you guys on Monday morning.
See you on Monday, Joel. Some of you I hope to see tomorrow at the Benzinga Boot Camp. Go to benzingabootcamp.com to register. The registering gets you access to the recording. It's a free event. It'll be here on YouTube, but if you register, give us your email, you'll get the recording after the fact. Full day of education, 9 to 3:30. I hope to see some of you right here tomorrow morning. In the meantime, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great Friday night. And those of you who I don't see tomorrow, I will see you on Tuesday because we have no shows on Monday because the markets are closed. So everyone have a great weekend and check out the boot camp, benzingabootcamp.com. Have a good one.